Now we finish the background wash, and at this point we can start switch to a smaller flat brush. I'm going to start washing into the catch the shadow area. So make sure the red and the blue colors. Got dark purple, but it has a little yellow in it. It's more like a gray purple colors. Okay, mixing this color, get a little bit more blue, a little bit more red. Okay, we're ready to go into this area. I think still kind of a little early. The outside is still pretty wet, so we change the color again. Make sure the brush has a much less water saturations, more color but less water as the percentage inside the brush. And then this way there's not much water. It's gonna pushing into the background area. So I'm gonna come back here, just almost like a dropping into the color into the place. I'm gonna come here to add some color to it. It's gonna be a two-step process, and we add some preliminary colors into the area, and then we will also going to enforce the colors by adding some darker edge, which is in the gap, a little bit later step. Okay, so now we finish the second step, which is taking care of the outside area. And then the next step, we're going to come back to to the second layers, to the inside of the bagel area, which is we're going to add a little bit more detailed colors in here, some darker colors, some texture, and inside here we need to have some darker tone inside there too, and some detail inside down here, and also include some lifting off technique applied to that, and create some little light into the areas. Okay, what we're gonna do the next step, we're gonna come back to use this flat brush again. And some warm and red color, get some yellow colors with this, and then we add just a little bit of a blue colors, so mix a little brown color here. I'm going to start okay, place on the top. As I'm going with the wet colors, I'm making sure I'm not lift too much of colors, create unwanted textures yet. Just gonna moving forward. Now I'm gonna decide to change to a round brush, a little smaller round brush. This is number 10, small brush. A mid-size round brush. Okay, so I'm gonna come back here to start. Come back here to have that. I'm going to use some lifting off to create some texture on the highlight area, but making sure we have a dark enough colors on the top over there. When it's still in the wet into wet process. Okay. So down here, I'm just going to have some soft area. Tap it there, have some texture. Okay. Get some brown colors as to create some texture on the surface. And over here, the highlight is a little bit too pronounced, so I'm going to soften this edge of the highlight. Like this. That looks good. That looks good. I'm going to keep that. Okay, next I'm going to work into that area. So, but before I start working into that, first I will want to wet this area. So when I painted the colors, it would actually create a soft transition. So start mixing the color again, kind of like a gray brown color. A little more blue colors. Borrow some blue color over there. Okay, that's the color I want. That's the color I want. So I'm gonna start blending into and up here have a little more fresh orange color sense. I'm going to change that to moving up over there. And we still need to come back here, do it one more time after the whole thing dry to create a little bit darker tone here, a little bit deeper. So let's switch the tension, come down to this side of the bagel, and we need to have a little kind of sense of greenish colors here. Yellow greenish colors. Got a little yellow color. Here we go. Yeah, that's a good color. Okay. Okay. And then also that color a little bit too dark, so I'm going to loosen the colors to merge with into the new color area. Okay. And now the base colors of the whole bagel is already completed. And what we are going to do next is to create a little highlight over here on this side and wait until it's dry, and then create a little darker tone over there and create a little definitions on that areas. And what we're going to do at this point, we have a little gap time. So we're going to actually create a little bit more definitions on the top over here. And it's a little darker, warm, dark colors. So use red again with the yellow to create kind of brownish colors. Get a little bit brown, a little bit blue colors so create kind of rich brown colors. And we have much less water in the brush, so this is going to create some darker, deeper brown colors on the top. So let's see. Over there, okay, there. And we can keep going into that area. On this side, a little darker color. And I'm going to just use a little wet colors to make that merge together, soften the area. Okay, now whatever the new color that you put on the top, it actually is going to be merge whatever you have in the previous layers. Okay, and I think that area is well done. And at this point, this is almost ready for the second layer, but we decided to wait a little bit